Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. MC-Mura here, and in today's video we are checking out the season 5 changes for everybody's favorite Bonita, Laura. Laura of course is one of the characters that coming into this meta could be negatively impacted, because of course she is a character who is very heavily reliant on 50-50 side switches and all of that with her EX Fireball. So V-Shift could have a very big impact on this character, so I'm interested to see what Capcom actually changed with Laura to combat this. And the first couple of changes for Laura seems like bug fixes. Pretty much they said that her throw hurt box will not move forward as she is doing the standing jab and her throws. So it seems like Laura had an issue where her throw hurt box would move forward, or she will get thrown out of her jab and her throw. So that seems to have gotten fixed. Also the same, they also fixed a bug fix with the EX Sunset Wheel, where she was kinda moving, I'm not really sure what the size of the rear collision box mean. So these seems both like bug fixes and changes. Doesn't seem like anything that would change how the character significantly play. Now let's talk about some significant changes then, and the first significant change is to her EX Bolt Charge. EX Bolt Charge is her EX Elbow, it is a special attack, and they made it faster by 2 frames, and that is actually a really good change, because now Laura, it's gonna be a little bit easier to go through fireballs with that, or to go through zoning with that, so this is a really nice change. I think it's gonna help her by a lot actually, so this is a really good change for the character. The other change you have just seen actually too, and that is the follow-ups to the EX Elbow leaves Laura at better plus frames. So after the medium elbow, Laura, if you press a punch, she will switch sides. If you press a kick, she will stay on the same side, and you get a +1 after a dash. So after each of them you get a +1, right? Now what Capcom did is after the EX1 you are +2. That is for both of these. So notice that regular you are +1 after a dash, EX you are +2. And this is very significant actually, because at +2, let me show you a scenario where the opponent, for example Sagat, is gonna try to backdash on Wake Up, right? If he is trying to backdash on a +1, the standing light kick will reset him. But if I use my EX and I use my +2, I will hit him grounded. So at +2 you have more advantage. It means pretty much a better Oki. You get to meaty with her standing or with her 5 frames, which is the crouching medium punch. So it's a lot of better situation. You get to use your standing light kick instead of the standing jab, and that is also really good. So this is an important buff for Laura, along with the speed up Bolt Charge. Both of these should come together and help her a lot actually. The other changes are to her fireballs, and her fireballs got changed across the board, and these are some really good changes. First of all, for the regular fireball, they made it so that when you hit it point blank, you are +2 instead of 0. This used to be 0 on block, 0 on hit I mean, so if you're point blank and you hit this, you were neutral. So that was kinda of a scramble situation, but now she is gonna be plus after that, and of course it is still the same on block, so a very close range one like that is still gonna be unsafe. But this is good for multiple reasons. First of all, on hit, so if you happen to land this, a command grab will be a real tech, so if your opponent tries to mash, they're gonna get command grab. And of course, if you played Laura at all, you know that sometimes when you do a fireball to V-trigger activation, it can be hard to get the forward heavy punch, right? So you wanna do something like this, get the forward heavy punch, right? But that was a little bit harder because of the added, because it was not as plus. So with the addition of the plus frames on the fireball, this is gonna be a little bit easier. So that is a really nice buff for the character. They also changed it so that it recovers by 2 frames faster. So the fireball have 2 less frames of recovery. So the fireball is better in general, better in the neutral because of the recovery, and better because you are plus on hit. And also they changed it so that it stays on the screen for 5 longer frames. So pretty much it have a little bit more range, right? The fireball have a little bit more range, which is really nice. Something kind of similar also happened to the level 2 fireball. First of all, it takes shorter to charge. So this is the level 2 fireball. Takes a little bit shorter to charge, and of course also it is a little bit more plus on hit and a little bit more plus on block. So overall buffs to the fireball, and also certain changes to the EX standard flap, where if it hits later it will hit twice, and if the second hit in mid-air like that, pretty much they are closer to you, so it's kinda easier to go for the follow-ups. Overall, these changes pretty much make it easier for you to play a pressure game with your fireball. The fireball change and the elbow change should help her a little bit at least in the neutral game. I think especially this in the neutral is gonna be a really big deal. And getting some better pressure from your fireball, having this length be easier, having the forward heavy punch length be a little bit easier. Maybe you can get stuff like that, I don't know. So it is a really good change for the character. The final thing happened to her V-Trigger 2, and pretty much they buffed the damage and added a jump attack invincibility. So now you can anti-air with this as well. I think it already had anti-air invincibility, and she was invincible to everything except throws. But now they said it is from the start to the end. So pretty much you are more invincible as she's doing the dodge, and it does more damage now, 100 damage. That is pretty nice. On a dodge you're now getting 300 damage, so I actually kinda wish this was useful, because I love this animation, to be honest. I feel like this is one of the coolest looking throws in the game. But anyways, interesting buffs for Laura, a little bit of helps here and there. I don't think, maybe some of the fireball, adjustments to the fireballs will help in set play. I'm not sure if these are gonna be super significant, but we will see. And of course, we're gonna have to see how the V-shift will impact the character, because like we said earlier, this character live and die by stuff like that, and V-shift could very well potentially hold a big threat to that. Anyways, if you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment, it helps the channel so much. Thank you a ton for watching. I will leave a link to the Patreon and the Discord in the description below. Once more, thank you very much for watching, and stay safe.